Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Plain Jane, your sister wife, honey, yes. If you've been keeping up, then you know exactly what this is about. And what this is about, let me tell you right now. It's about me getting eliminated from House of Villains. Ah! Disgraceful, shameful second out. Honey, if I learned anything from Kate Chastain, this makes it all better, honey. And that bitch is a mother of a small child. I'm very concerned for it. Babe, let's just get started. Let's get right into it because we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to discuss. This is my first actual sit-down YouTube video, so let's see how this goes. I already feel deeply autistic talking to myself. Coming to the house, I really thought I had it in the bag. I really kind of like started up here on the show. We were going strong, and then we just crashed and burned, bitch. Even though my run on House of Villains was a little bit short-lived, it was still sickening, honey. And you know, I did my big one. I truly walked so that you know, hopefully like a future queen, mistress perhaps can run. Metaphorically speaking, of course, because I know that bitch doesn't like cardio. I did hear about House of Villains before getting cast on it, obviously because my iconic predecessor, Candy Muse, was on the show.
A lot of you bitches acting real nice around here. It's time to be the bitches that got you on the show.
Candy did really fierce. She made top 5. She made quite the splash, quite the impact. And when I say impact, I mean like physical impact because, honey, every time she took a step, that house shook. That being said, she did fantastic. I will never forget her reading Safari on that show and telling him that he looks like a pink prolapsed butthole.
Looking like a fucking prolapsed asshole waiting to get pushed back inside.
Pink prolapsed asshole waiting to be pushed back inside, I think was her terminology. And that was really fierce. She let those fucking people have it. And she entered that house with this very insane, intense energy, which was very inspiring, honestly. So I really hoped that I could match and surpass Miss Candy. Beginning of 2025, I began my residency in Las Vegas at RuPaul's Drag Race Live. I was contracted to be there for about 4 months. I was going through the House of Villains casting process during that time as well, and they needed me to cut my Vegas residency a little bit short. So I have some unfinished business in Vegas, honey. I will be coming back, trust. Drag Race gives you a platform like no other reality program gives you. I mean, it really like allows you to go from 0 to 100 in terms of being like a public figure in a way. The fact that another network, another reality TV show on a different network wanted me after my first season of Drag Race was a gag. It was a gag, bitch. Even though it was a gag, it really feels correct. It really feels correct to be the only girl to ever fucking do this and to be on a reality TV show post my original season of Drag Race. Now you may be thinking, but babe, like Utica did that for Project Runway. But the difference is, my love, is that I was booked on a personality-based reality TV show where I was competing against the likes of Tiffany New York Pollard, whereas Utica competed against, you know, up-and-coming designers who couldn't even really like sew very well, if we want to go there. But we won't, honey. We're not talking about her, we're talking about me. It was like my life's dream to be cast on Drag Race, you know what I mean? Like, even when I was starting drag, I sort of had an interesting conversation with my dad where we sat down. You know, he discovered that I was doing drag through social media. And I sat down with my dad and he was like, what the hell are you doing with this, bitch? First of all, are you a prostitute? I was like, yes. Well, yes. Second of all, what is your plan with this? Like, what is your goal? Because I just like dropped out of college and my parents were like, what the fuck? And I literally told my dad, I was like, yo, well, I'm gonna get on RuPaul's Drag Race and I'm gonna be like this huge like superstar and I'm gonna make a shitload of money, obviously. And he was like, mama, the disappointment in his face truly will never forget that expression. When it comes to House of Villains, you know, it's not like it wasn't the same as Drag Race. You know what I mean? I wasn't like, oh my gosh, like I'm just dying to get on this show. The only preparation that I really did for this show was I commissioned like 1 or 2 nice looks. Me and Mirage went shopping at like Hottie, and I got some, you know, daytime realness looks. Looking at Candy's run, she was only in drag like literally 2 or 3 times. And every time she was in drag, she was in like, I don't know, Fashion Nova. Before I hopped on my flight over, I remember having a talk with Candy and being like, hey Candy, do you have like any advice for me? And she said, girl, just walk in like you're that bitch. Just walk in and own the fucking room. And that's really the extent of the advice that I got from Candy, which in hindsight, you know, it was helpful. It was helpful. The day comes, honey. It's time for me to enter the House of Villains. So I get up in my latex getup. I get in my car, and they're like, great, okay, we're gonna fare you over to the set. And they pull over in some massive empty parking lot, and they're like, okay, we got a note from production that we're gonna have to wait a little bit. There are like a few people that are entering before you, so just sit tight. So I'm sitting, like an hour passes, literally an hour of me festering in my latex in this car, and I'm getting my energy is progressively dropping. And bitch, I start needing to pee like a horse. So eventually I'm like, I can't hold it anymore. I gotta go piss. They take me to the Target, and I literally have to get out of this car in my latex and go to this Target and like scurry around, find a bathroom, take my latex off and piss. I just pissed in the Target. Then like, so now I'm like officially kind of fucking over it. You know, by the time you're actually on camera, you're like, I don't know if this was the most conducive thing for me to be able to film the fiercest, be my best self on reality television. I walk into this house, and the first person that I see descending that staircase is Tiffany New York Pollard.
Yes, everyone! Hi!
Immediately, I'm like, gag, bitch, this is happening. I'm on fucking House of Villains with New York. Like, what the fuck is my life? The only 2 people that I really recognize in that house is New York and Drita. Obviously, Christine looks fabulous, and she seems kind of familiar. Like, I feel like I might have seen this person on social media before, but I've never watched Selling Sunset. I don't know who the fuck Kate is. Kate looks like literally a neighborhood mom who like stumbled into the wrong house. Never seen Below Deck. I don't know who Tom Sandoval is. Tom looks like a robot, like literally a cyborg with like chin, like a, you know, synthetic chin and masseter filler. Like, just looks crazy. I thought Ashley was a housewife because she walked in there with like a sparkly sequin dress and immediately was like, where's the alcohol? So I was like, okay, this has to be like a pilled out housewife down. But she's from The Challenge, which was like maybe the most physical show out of any of the contestants that were in the house. Johnny from Love Island, I feel like I recognized Johnny like barely. He immediately gave me like fuckboy energy because I could tell that he was like trying to engage with me and trying to make eye contact, but as soon as either Christine or Ashley would talk to him, he would immediately pivot. Like, I was like, okay, he could give a fuck about me. I don't like it when guys don't pay attention to me. Like, I don't like it when I'm not the center of attention. Oh, the gag is that Sarge, remember, what was her name? Wintergreen? Wintergreen, who was also a cameraman on my season of Drag Race, was also a cameraman for House of Villains. So just seeing that familiar face in there was really, really awesome. Like, it kind of put me at ease a little bit, you know, whereas I was feeling a little stressed, a little bit like a fish out of water, but seeing Sarge in there really was really, really nice. With Drag Race, they take our phones away, but with Villains, they gave them back to us. So we had access to social media at night, and I feel like that's where I really sort of fucked up and started psyching myself out, because I looked up every single name that I encountered in that house, and I quickly realized that I was kind of the rookie, the reality TV rookie. Maybe I really have something to gain from these people outside of just being on this TV show with them. So I should really, I should play nice and try to be their friends, which completely defeats the purpose of House of Villains. I know. I really wish I never picked up my phone, never went on social media, and just kept my head in the fucking game. I want to also like talk about the fact that my job compared to all the other contestants on that show was definitely more difficult being the drag queen. This was not Drag Race. This was not like a set built for drag. Like it was not a production crew that was sort of there to necessarily accommodate drag. As much as they tried, in order to get in drag, you need people around you to help you get ready, and nobody else really needed that sort of accommodation there. You know what I mean? They were just regular schmegulars. My room, they got me fiercely because they had a camera inside that room that I got, that solo room that I had to take, literally had no choice but to take, because I just had so much shit. But anyways, they literally had a hidden cam in there and they got me fierce, bitch. Honey, they clocked my mess so nasty. Every single take of me in that room, I had to cringe. It gets messy, you know what I mean? My drag is just constantly fucking everywhere. I had to wake up earlier than everybody to get ready. I had to figure out like how many looks I was doing that day. And so I kind of get why Candy wasn't in drag often on that show, because eventually I kind of had to just give it up. And the very second day, I had to do like 3 different looks. It was also like a 14-hour filming day. And I did 3 different looks, bitch. I did one for the challenge where I had to eat the fucking cake. Right after I ate the cake, we had to go roller skating because Tyson chose me for that reward. So I had to change into a different look for that. And then we had the banishment ceremony when Jackie was put up for banishment. So Jackie and Christine. And I had to change into like my Roblox mom, Kris Jenner look for that. It was insane, girl. It was insane. Honestly, filming House of Villains, I can say with confidence, was harder than filming Drag Race, bitch. Like, both 2 very difficult shows to film, but House of Villains has to take the cake for me there. Once my team won that first challenge, in large part thanks to me, I really, really shoved that cake down my throat, bitch. Tyson picked me to go on the reward with him along with Paul. And after that first episode and that first hit list ceremony, I was like, you know what? I think I'm good. I'm gonna try to play the long game, and I do not want that super villain spot yet. You know what I mean? It's gonna guarantee me another week, but I'm not trying to stay here for another week. I'm trying to last until the end. Womp womp. I felt like I had a good relationship with Tyson. Tom I wasn't sure about because I literally could not read that bionic face of his. Like, every time he smiles, it just looks like a grimace. Like, every time that Tom Sandoval smiles, it looks like he's trying to like push a turd out. Like, I've never seen a more constipated looking person in my entire life. So Tom, I really wasn't sure I could trust, but at least I thought that I had Tyson, I had Christine, and Paul I felt like also was, a homie. We immediately bonded when I first came into the house because he said a few words in Russian to me because Paul's Armenian. So I was immediately like, oh, he's a brother, he's a sister, he's a brother, his sister brother. And to this day, I feel like Paul is definitely like somebody who I am honestly probably the closest with from the house. Paul is just a real one. You know what I mean? Like, my relationship with Paul doesn't seem like fake or forced, because Paul isn't fake or forced. Like, he is just like one of those people who's like a genuine person, unlike a lot of people from that house, in my opinion. What can you do, honey? It's the House of Villains. All the contestants except for me were straight. Like, I was the only sort of queer representation on that show, which I'm used to bullying other gay people and getting bullied by straight people. Now that the tables have turned and I'm sort of tasked with bullying straight people, it's a little bit of a learning curve. Let's just say that. When Johnny put me up on that hit list, I let that motherfucker have it. Like, I was pissed, bitch.
But I should have known better than to trust a low-budget Drake impersonator.
Worst case scenario happened, which was Johnny won Supervillain. And as soon as Johnny won Supervillain, my heart kind of dropped to my asshole a little bit, because I knew that I was in danger, girl. Me and Johnny hadn't really connected prior like I did with like I had with pretty much everybody else in that house. New York and Drita, we had some amazing laughs. You know, Kate, I was getting along with. I truly was genuinely sort of wary of Johnny. There aren't really many areas that me and Johnny can connect in. I mean, he's like this big, muscular, sexy, straight man. After he won that supervillain, I was like, bitch, you better go up to him and say something, because I know that, you know, there are only so many people in this fucking house, girl. It's not like 16 queens like on a season of Drag Race, like, and three of us are gonna go up on that chopping block. So bitch, you better do everything in your power to make sure it's not you. And I tried to sell him on this fantasy that if he was ever in the finale and I was not there, you know, I was not still in the competition, I would give him my vote.
I would have no issue voting if I was out of the house, voting for somebody like you.
Which is such a silly, like, grasping at straws sort of thing. But he actually bought it, bitch. That dumb oaf of a man bought my bullshit, and it actually made him reconsider. It made him reconsider putting me up. Next day, we get a pizza box, and of course, there's like a fucking thing in that pizza box, some sort of hand, a little hand. And Paul grabs the hand. Mind you, I should have grabbed that fucking hand, but I really thought I was in the clear, especially if Paul had the hand. I was like, I just had that conversation with Johnny. Paul is gonna be the hand of the villain, so he's gonna make sure that I'm not getting put up on the chopping block. I'll be fine. Bitch, if I'd only grabbed that fucking hand, it pisses me off. Johnny comes back from his little excursion. He's like, okay, well, I'm putting Plain Jane up, I guess. And Paul is, you know, Paul puts up a fight, but at the end of the day, I guess, you know, he had no choice but to sort of go along with whatever Johnny's bullshit was, which in hindsight, I don't blame him. Obviously, in the moment, it hurt because I thought that Paul would have my back. I already explained to him, like, how much it meant to be being on this show, considering I'd only done one season of reality TV prior to being there. But bitch, I was nervous, girl. I was like, what the fuck challenge are they gonna have us do? Because low-key, the challenges on House of Villains are so fucking random. Like, they could not be more pick a number out of a hat, bitch. Like, so random. Turns out we have to feel people's faces as our redemption challenge, which I'm like, okay, like, as somebody who essentially touches my own face for a living, like, and, you know, knows a thing or two about facial structure as like a drag queen, I feel like I should have this in the bag. What really threw me off during that challenge was, as you saw, the girls, and it killed me watching it back knowing that I had Drita pegged correctly at first and then I switched her out with Christine. Why did I do that? Ugh.
Christine.
That is not correct.
Oh my god, like I got eliminated. Like, no, it's so nasty. They did me so nasty, girl. Like, why? Like, oh my god. Let me look back at this brick wall to remind myself of my dear sister Corey again and ask myself, what would Corey do? Corey, what would you do?
I shake that ice.
Oh, she wouldn't even get offered the opportunity to be on House of Villains. Okay, well that answers that question. I was starting to see the writing on the wall. You know, I was in the bottom with New York, bitch. Like, New York. You know, everybody knew that New York was just there to clown around, girl. You know what I mean? We knew that New York wasn't winning shit. But I feel like at the same time, New York had competed on the season prior and had made it all the way to the finale. I'm just using this table to, like, plop my powder on, and it's truly bringing me back to my nights in Miami with morphine, honey. You know, everybody else in that house, I feel like, was really trying to be visible all the time. You know what I mean? Everybody was constantly roaming around. Everybody was constantly talking game, having conversations. New York, on the other hand, really kept to herself more than any of the other contestants. New York is truly like a masterclass at reality TV, and getting to work with her was such a pleasure because that bitch knew how to cut all the right corners and still make the most impactful television. Like, truly such an honor to get to work with the queen of reality TV, Tiffany New York Pollard, bitch. I love you, New York. And honestly, I really hope that I can get her on Kudos for Spilling one of these days. Because, bitch, we would cut the fuck up. The night that I lost the redemption challenge, I was really trying to like psych myself up and just try to convince myself essentially that it wasn't over until it was over. Mind you, that night too, I put on a fierce clown show, bitch. You know what I mean? I was like, bitch, if this is like my last hurrah here, might as well bring out the clown suit and the tits. Afterwards, I couldn't really sleep. I was I was up at night sobbing like a baby. The next day rolls around and I'm like, all right, well, I got some work to do. I guess I have to check in with everybody in the house and see where their heads are at. The two sides of the house above me, I'm in the room downstairs. The two sides of the house above me, they had formed their own little alliances. Whereas I was kind of a floater. People wanted to say that New York was a floater. New York kind of covered all her bases, bitch. Like more so than even I did. That's kind of where I fucked up, was that I was speaking to people on an individual basis as opposed to talking to people in groups like they were. I didn't realize that the entire time I was campaigning to stay, I was shoveling food in my face. You know, being in the hot seat made me nervous, and I guess my response was just eating, girl, you know, turning to food as a source of comfort. In the brief moments that I can muster to put my food down, you know, I'm begging and pleading with the other contestants. I don't really think it showed me going around and talking to people as much as I truly did, because I really think that I covered all my bases. Except for Tom, at that point, I really didn't feel like I had a very good, positive, like trusting relationship with Tom, and I didn't feel like I had his vote. For some reason, gradually in my mind, I started like placing him as one of my enemies in the house, just because I literally could not get a read on the guy, girl. Like, he looked fucking constipated 24/7. I'm Tom Sandoval, man. I love gay people, man. Don't buy it, bitch. Fake ally, Tom. Fake ally. Based on numbers, it was New York and me. I probably would have just gone with the boys. Fuck it. I would have been a traitorous bitch, and I would have betrayed my girls, just like the girls betrayed me. And I would have gone with the fucking boys. I would have been like Tyson, Tom, Johnny, Paul, Ashley. Ashley being one of the boys, of course, because that was their little alliance. I would have been like, I'm all in on you guys. Fuck you guys. And I would have literally just like gathered everybody in at the same time and made a big scene, and just as a last ditch effort tried to align myself with one side of the house versus the other, because I feel like only then would I even have had a chance of staying and getting a majority vote. But that's not what I did. I talked to everybody individually, and I was like, hey girl, are we cool? Do you like me? Hee, aren't I such a silly little clown in this house? Hee, silly little innocent clown. Like, don't you want to keep me? And they all looked at me in the eye and said, girl, you are good with us. I get in drag. I get in my sort of Evel Knievel Russian flag inspired fit. And we go to the banishment chamber, and it's time to give our final pleas in order to stay in the competition. I really put my pussy in this one. I tried to be earnest. I also sort of tried to pull on everybody's heartstrings. I'm like, you guys, like, I'm the only queer person here. You know, I'm here not just for me, but for my community. I have my community on my back, and, you know, I'm just doing this for that little kid
That was, you know, picked on for being different.
All right now.
Everyone's clapping, and Christine sheds like a little fake crocodile tear, and I'm like, okay, they loved it. That went great. New York is standing there being like, that's so powerful, that's so beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Making every moment about herself, as she does, bitch. And then New York goes ahead and says her piece. She basically says, this bitch is gonna be your biggest competition if you keep her here.
She can take it home, y'all.
You know, it's shit. Like, that's a take. Everybody hears us out, and one by one, we see them go into that voting booth and come out. Go into the voting booth and come out and come out and come out and come out. And I'm kind of paying attention as to who is making eye contact with me, and it's like none of them. None of them are looking at me, bitch. So I'm kind of like, okay, that's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Joel goes with a vote of 5-1. The person leaving the house is... Now, I hear 5-1, and I'm thinking, there's no way that's me. There's no way that's me. 5-1 is crazy. There's no way I'm going home. It has to be New York. 5-1 is definitely like a much bigger landslide than I thought initially, but I mean, I'm cool with everybody in this house, right? So it can't be me. Plain Jane, you're out. Bitch, my face cracked.
Plain Jane.
What you say?
I must have gone through like a roller coaster of emotions, bitch, in that 1 second. I was like, no way. No fucking way. He said, any last words? I looked around the room and I said, fuck all of you, especially you, Tom, and your titanium jaw or something like that. And then they flung me back. Middle fingers up, they flung me back, and that was it, bitch. I get up from that chair still reeling, like still trying to process what just happened. And production goes, hey, so we're gonna have to reshoot that. We're gonna have to shoot your exit again. We didn't quite get everything we needed to.
Die.
I was like, you're kidding. I have to go back into that room again and do that with these people, like look all these people in their faces again after I got made by them so nasty. Thankfully, they had already sent all these people away, so it was just kind of like a reshoot with just the camera trained on me, like an audio pickup thing. So it was just me in that room by myself reshooting my big sort of exit. But goddamn, God fucking damn, they got me, bitch.
They got me, gal.
That was that, bitch. My journey on House of Villains came to an abrupt and unfortunate end. All right, girl, I'm back in my full elimination Gishiana, honey. Even though my competitive journey on House of Villains has come to an untimely close, I will be back on your TV screens during the finale, honey, because remember, we all have to come back and vote for the winner. So I will get my last word in. Trust. I know that now that I'm gone, the show is essentially, you know, it's a chop. It's, you know, boring and unwatchable. But, you know, New York is still there. So I'm sure you can take something out of it. And you're going to need the context when I come back and get my licks back. Make sure you keep supporting the show. But more importantly, stay tuned for what I have cooking up on the YouTubes, honey. I have so many exciting guests coming up on Kudos for Spilling. I cannot wait to spill the tea and dish. Let me know if you enjoyed this sort of solo studio vibe. Just me and the camera and the lights, baby, and nobody else. Obviously, this is like my first solo studio video. So tell me how I did. Did I do good for you, baby? I live for positive reinforcement. And I've been getting bigger, so I need a lot of reinforcement of really any kind. I love you so much. Kisses from your gal pal, PJ. Mwah. Kudos, mama, for doing that, for tuning in.